Hi, good morning. My name is Larry. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be opening a brand new Greenworks 18-inch cordless electric 80 volt lithium ion battery chainsaw. It's a pro version. These things are worked pretty good. I've used a 16-inch Greenworks for quite some time, using it also with the Greenworks leaf blower, an older version, and they're tremendously useful, helpful, and high output. Reliable. The reliable is the key word. No maintenance almost, compared, for instance, in a chainsaw to a chainsaw that might require fuel, mixing of fuel and oil, and then after they store for a year or two, carburetors gum up, and you have issues trying to get them started and so on. Plus the noise factor, not good on your ears. Huh? Yeah. Well, anyway, so that being said, I guess I can't flip my camera around, so I'm going to go in this direction. 80 volt Pro. As you can see, it has a charger and an 80 volt lithium ion battery and a case. And this should be a fairly substantial utility tool, in the sense that it is industrial rated. I know this is the particular blower I was talking about that I used earlier. This thing is tremendous, but it's about half of what the product line is, and that is available in the 80 volt. Aha, there you have it. We have the chain and another chain. That's awesome. We got a backup chain. We have the battery itself. And these batteries also operate the lawnmower, the electric lawnmower that they also sell, using the same charging station and battery for an electric lawnmower. So here you have it. This being your oiler fill cap for the chain, and this be where you mount the bar, and this being where you insert the battery. I'm assuming it goes in like that. It just clicks in place. Oh, it comes with a pre-charge. Isn't that nice? So at that point, you grab this guy here and this guy here, and at this point we simply use this wrench that's included. This is the point at where you would adjust the chain tension. As the chain breaks in and wears, it stretches, and you will be required then to take up the slack on the chain to keep it tight against the bar. So this guy lifts right off. The nuts are retained. That's really nice. And at this point, you would install this bar. You would wrap the chain around. This is the sprocket that drives the chain, and you would just wrap the chain around the sprocket and insert it into the bar all the way around the tip, and then you would apply this cover and adjust the chain accordingly. This will adjust in and out. Apparently there is a adjuster screw that is accessible at one end or the other, and you would take the slack out. Anyway, this is a substantial tool, and you use it. Obviously, it's got a status indicator for the amount of charge. Once it's totally dead, it'll let you know. You just depress that green lever there and pull the battery out, and simply engage it, these slots right here, into the charger and dock it all the way. Of course, you need it charged in or plugged in, and you will allow it to charge. This is the chainsaw chain that will be wrapped around the bar. It will inlay into the bar, into the slot, in just such a manner, and wrap around the sprocket I was telling you about. And here's the adjuster to compensate for slack on the chain. So we'll attempt this, even though I don't have a stand with me right now for my camera. If you will, bear with me. This is sometimes fun to figure out how it is to get these little kinks out of the chain. We're getting there. Yeah, chainsaw chain. It is installed in a particular orientation with the cutter blades that have an advancing contact surface area that must lead in order to cut. Otherwise, you can basically put it on backwards and it will not work. So we have the chain initially installed. All these little teeth here have to be sunk into that rail. The chain itself has to be installed around the sprocket, and a little tension put on the bar, pulled away. It's easier when you don't have a camera in your hand, obviously. And once again, the adjuster screw right there, the one in the center. Bear with me. There we are. And these two holes in the back line up with the adjuster paw that will capture the bar and pull it forward to exert tension on the bar itself. So you might need to adjust this accordingly to align the posts that will align. There's the post. If you can see that, a post aligning now with the bar. That's what captures the bar. So we will pull it back around the chain around the sprocket again. And now attempt to align that bar. This is just wonderful. So counterclockwise puts more slack in the chain, and clockwise turning of the adjuster screw will take the slack out of the chain or tension it to desired tension. So we simply, as you see, just placed that cover on there. The nuts are retained. They're right there. You just turn them clockwise and snug them with the wrench. Ooh, if they'll start. That one started. Okay, they're snug. And now, turning clockwise, we'll put just a little bit of tension on there. As you can see, you put a little preload on that chain to where it just barely snaps back, not too much tension, because it will cause excess heat and wear. And as you can see, that's a substantial sized bar. So this guy is probably pretty much ready to go. As you can see, it completely assembled now. And when we snap the battery in place, this thing should be ready to go. First, you're going to have to pull this cover off, pop that tab up, and then turn that plug counterclockwise and pull out the plug and install your bar oil, chainsaw bar oil only, in this reservoir. Fill it up, twist the top back on clockwise, and then latch it over that way. And now I'm assuming that this is how we power this thing. You hold that button. I'm sorry. That is the battery status indicator. That is the battery status indicator right there. And so simply to operate this, you must depress this green button here under my forefinger. First, that's the safety or dead man switch. You must hold that in with your thumb, and then simply pull the trigger, and away you go. So that's very simple to operate as well. Now, as you can see, this chain still requires, after you run it a little bit, after it seats in, you're going to want to take out that slack. That is excessive. So once again, we go back to the adjuster screw, turn it clockwise, and we have taken up the slack in that chain. See how it just barely snaps back in? Now, in order to lock this down so it maintains its adjustment, we have to just torque this down, both of these screws, so that the bar is locked down in place, and you will be at that time ready to do some real work in the woods. This thing is substantial. For a little under $300, you've made yourself a great purchase, and this thing will start every time you pull the trigger. No ropes to pull on this one. Thank you for joining me. I hope this video has been informative for you. God bless you. Have a great day.